the Avengers are just different. So rather than just talk about the movie in normal circumstances, I want to try something different. So these are the Avengers game logs. Yes, I said game logs, like in sports. I love basketball, so I'm going to talk about the Avengers like it's a basketball team. So we have MVP, best teammate, worst teammate, coach. There's some other categories. I may take some out. I may add some as I talk about each Avengers movie. But I wanted to do something different for the Avengers because it is a different type of movie than, the solo movies. So I hope you guys enjoy. Leave feedback, please. It can only help the pod, and I appreciate the listen. Let's get into it. Hello and welcome to Just My Thoughts. I'm your host Khaleel Ward, and it's the road to Avengers Endgame. I did all the MCU movies. I did all the solo movies, combined them. I did the trilogies. I did the Guardians. I combined Black Panther with Spider-Man. I talked about Doctor Strange and Captain Marvel. With the Avenger movies, I do something a little different. I do a game log, give out awards, MVPs, offensive player, best coach, best leader, best moment, stuff like that. I give that out for the Avenger movies because it's a team concept, so I wanted to give out awards. This is the recap or the game log for Avengers Infinity War, the big movie right before Endgame, the Avengers movie before Endgame. So it might be a little longer game log than the other two Avengers movies, but let's get started with the first award, and it's called Best Reunion. And you have to remember, after Age of Ultron, people went their separate ways. Hulk went to a different planet, so people haven't seen each other in a while. And the best reunion for me is Tony and Bruce. That was a very emotional moment for me watching this movie multiple times. Just when Doctor Strange comes and he's talking to Tony, and Bruce comes out, and like Tony's face is just like whoa, because they were really close. From the first Avengers, they were really close, working together. Who knows how long they worked together in the tower. So just seeing them come together, it was just like, wow, that's emotional. And I know in Endgame it's going to happen when Cap and Tony meet again. And I had predicted that it was going to happen in Infinity War, and I was glad I was wrong, because now I'm anticipating it even more. But for me, best reunion in Infinity War is Tony and Bruce, seeing each other again. Moving on to the worst teammate, and it has different meanings, but for me, it's the guy who just really doesn't come through, or messes things up. And for me, it's the Hulk. And he came out, hit Thanos with a 2-piece, and after that, it was just all downhill for the Hulk. Got beat up, got sent to Earth, and just wouldn't come back out. And he wasn't quiet about it. He just flaked on Bruce Banner. He wouldn't come out. He didn't support the team. So he gets a bad teammate award for that. And I know some people have their theories. He was scared, or, whatever it was. He wasn't there to support the team. They needed him. He got beat up. His feelings was hurt. And it wasn't like a close fight. It was a straight beat down. So the Hulk gets the worst teammate award for me. Moving on, the best teammate award. It's a lot of people to go through. It's a lot of characters in this movie. But I decided to go with Spider-Man as the best teammate in Avengers Infinity War. Now, hear me out. He was minding his business, coming back from a field trip, saw something happening, jumped right in. Helped Tony Stark out, possibly saved his life. Listened to Tony, followed Doctor Strange and the Cape. He stayed on the ship. He got taken off the ship. He could have easily just went back to Earth. Tony saved him. He could have just fell back down to Earth, chilled down there, probably try to find his way to Wakanda or something like that. But nope, he kept going, and he eventually saved Doctor Strange. Came up with the plan, saved Doctor Strange, and then when they was on Titan fighting Thanos and everybody was getting smacked around, he was out there saving the Guardians, catching them back and forth. So I would say he was a good teammate. He was a solid teammate, and he helped the team out, and he followed directions. So for me, the best teammate goes to Spider-Man, and he was probably the saddest one when everybody got dusted. So, best teammate for me, Spider-Man. For me, the next award, weakest link. It's a new category, weakest link. And it's just the person who, they're not the worst teammate, but they really didn't do anything to help the cause or the situation. So, that's Vision. Yes, I know he got stabbed early on in the movie. He should have been, I don't know, paying attention or something. He was too busy in love. And after he gets stabbed, everybody has to protect him. He can't heal himself. He's just a liability, you know. Thanos is coming for him, so they got to go to Wakanda and everything like that. He was a liability. He was the weakest link of the Avengers, honestly. Everybody had to protect him. You know, Shuri got smacked up because of him. It's just a lot of things was happening because of Vision and his, you know, him being unable to help the situation. Sixth Man is the next award, and I thought about it. Again, for me in these movies, Sixth Man is someone who's not on screen a lot, but they have a good impact, a great impact. And for me in this movie, the Sixth Man is Captain America. He had a great entrance, you know, at the train station. He saved Vision and Scarlet Witch. Then it was his idea. I don't know if it's a good idea or a bad idea, but he went to Wakanda because they needed somewhere to hide Vision. I guess that was a good idea. You know, looking back at it, it was smart to try to get him out the country. But, you know, bringing war to Wakanda and everything, that wasn't so smart. But, you know, I forgive you, Cap. So, you know, and people were wondering why he wasn't in the movie so much. But he's going to play a big part in Endgame, as you can see in all the promos and stuff. He's like in every trailer and front and center. But he wasn't in Infinity War that long. So for me, he's the Sixth Man. And I kind of like that pick. You know, he did enough. Oh, he did the little hold Thanos' hand back a little bit. You know, Thanos smirked a little bit. Like, okay, that's cool. And you know, he had the two gauntlets. He had the little scene with Black Panther when he was running really fast. So he had his little moments as the Sixth Man. The most surprising member, that's the next award. Again, a new award. And for me, I was surprised by Scarlet Witch. Just because in the other movies, Civil War, she caused the accident. She slammed Vision a little bit in Civil War, but she didn't really showcase any real fight and toughness. So in this movie, when they get attacked, and Vision, again, weakest link, congratulations, she's holding it down. You know, she's flying. She's, you know, stopping him from falling on the ground really hard. Like, she was holding it down. And I think even if Cap don't come, I think she hits another level. You know, get that anger, and just, you know, like when Quicksilver died, she hit that extra level. I think she would have hit that extra level if Vision would have been, you know, hurt even more. So I was surprised by her. Even when she got to Wakanda and they kept her up in the tower and she came out and Okoye was like, why was she up there? And she killed the member of the Black Order. So I was a little bit surprised by Scarlet Witch, and I hope they, you know, whatever she appears in again, I hope they just keep showing how strong she really is and how powerful she really is. And she even destroyed Vision's stone. So that's a lot of strength. So it was surprising seeing how strong she's gotten, you know, in these movies. Moving on to the next award, we have the funniest meeting. So this is for people who haven't met before. So it's a tie. Yes, there are ties in this thing. So I have Star-Lord when he meets Thor. That was hilarious. Just him mocking his accent and everything, just going back and forth. That was so funny. And the Guardians making fun of Quill's body and saying that Thor is like a god, and, you know, and they were just going at Quill. It was really funny. And also when Captain America meets Groot, and, you know, Groot says, "I am Groot," and he just looks at him, he's like, "I am Steve Rogers." I thought that moment was hilarious to me. You know, it was just funny. But those are two meetings that were really awesome for me. Just really funny, and I just remember them when I think about this movie. Moving on, best assist. And, you know, just like how it sounds, in this assist, you know, somebody assisting someone else in something. And there are many people, you know, that qualify for this award. But I'm giving it to Groot. Yes, I know he didn't do much in this movie, but he finished Stormbreaker, and he technically saved Thor's life. So he gets the best assist. He was playing the game the whole movie. That game had a crazy battery life because he was playing for a long time. But when it came down to it, he put the game down, made the handle for Stormbreaker, from his own hand, which is tough, and then saved Thor's life, basically. So that gives him a great assist. He wasn't in there for a long time, but when he got in, he did his thing. So congratulations to Groot. Offensive player of the movie, definitely Thor. When he got Stormbreaker, just the entrance he made in Wakanda was like, oh, Thor's here, and he was putting in work, and then he even stabbed Thanos, which nobody else can say. He stabbed Thanos. He didn't go for the head, but we know what happened after that. But in terms of just offensive prowess, Thor was putting in work, catching bodies, and it was good to see. It was fun to see his strength, and just like I just recently watched Ragnarok, and Odin was like, "Are you God of Hammers or the God of Thunder?" Like the hammer was used to channel, your abilities, but you're strong, and it was good to see him get another weapon to help channel his abilities, and you could see the weapon is stronger than his old weapon. So I know he feels bad about what happened with the snap and everything, but he did put in a great offensive performance, with his new weapon. And finally, last but not least, we have the MVP of the movie, and we all know who the MVP of this movie is. The first villain to win MVP, to me, is Thanos. Yes, Thanos, the MVP. I know there's a lot of boos and cheers going on, but he set out to do what he wanted to do, collected all the stones, snapped his finger, went to his farm, and that's a good, besides getting stabbed in the chest, that's like a good solid movie for him. He lost his kids. I don't think he cares, but he set out to do what he wanted, and he was cool about it, like just real chill for the most part. He didn't really he got angry a little bit on Titan when he was throwing moons at people, but he could have killed more people. He could have killed Quill. He killed Gamora. He could have killed Nebula. He could have killed a lot of people, and he didn't. He could have killed Tony, spared his life, just wanted the stone, kept his word, man of his word. That's pretty good for MVP. So I think Thanos, it's a unanimous win, for him. I don't think the other MVPs I gave out were unanimous, but, Thanos is definitely the MVP of this movie, and it was a beautiful thing to see. Just a villain that was just so great at what he wanted to do. He didn't really have any hiccups or mistakes. He was just prepared for everything. So it was different. It was fun, and he won basically. And he won because at the end they said Thanos will return, not like any of the heroes will return. Thanos will return, and I can't wait to see what he does in this next movie. I'm pretty sure he won't be the MVP, but in Endgame, something's going to happen, and he's going to show off some stuff. And hopefully there's another fight with the Hulk where it's more even, I guess. Not, because he didn't use any stones when he beat the Hulk up. He just beat him down. So, quick recap. Best reunion, Tony and Bruce. Six-man, Captain America. Offensive player of the movie, Thor. Most surprising Avenger or person, Scarlet Witch. The weakest link, Vision. Best teammate, Spider-Man. The funniest meeting, there's a tie between Cap and Groot and Star-Lord and Thor. Worst teammate, the Hulk. The best assist, Groot. And the MVP of the movie, Thanos. Thank you for checking out all the podcasts, Road to Avengers Endgame. Thank you for checking out the Avengers game logs. I hope you enjoyed it. And I want to hear your thoughts on the awards. Who would you give some of these awards to? Leave a comment, comment, subscribe, please. Deuces.